live. Wait till some people get in here. So, add her. Sorry about that earlier. My boy had a situation with his phone, so he couldn't really do it. And my boy called me and it's like, well, why don't you go live on your page, tell your story? I said, okay, I might as well, you know. We'll start in a couple minutes. All right, we'll start. Again, my name is Pierre. If you don't know me, I'm a clean days 9/5, 2018. Before I get into my story, my boy asked me. I made this page for recovering alcoholic addicts. It's recover for anything. But I'm gonna say a moment of serenity prayer before I get started. Um, Maybe have that moment now. God, grant us serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right. Um, I've been knowing about recovery for a very long time. Um, since I'm in 15, I'm 36, and I just now got 2 years because I fought this program for a long time, right? When I first came in here, I didn't really think I was an addict. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I wasn't on hard drugs, so I didn't think I was an addict at all. You know what I mean? And my mama, she's a member of Narcotics Anonymous, and uh, I really didn't want to do this program, right? And then I'll come back in, um, I'll stay a little while, get my size back up, and I'll go back out right to self destruction, right back. Then I'll come back in and I'll meet a woman, think we can get clean, you know, right out to the sunset together, and I'll go get high again. And until this last like 3 years ago, I realized I had a problem, right? Because I was stuck in this illusion that I was this drug dealer, and the people I was giving drugs to was like, man, Pierre, man, you should go get help. You know, it's crazy when the people you're giving drugs to tell you should go get help, right? And I got hooked on real bad drugs like 3 years ago, and so I came in this program, and then this time I said I'm gonna try to work the program, right? So I stayed. I went to the detox place. And I remember the first meeting, I never really speak in the meetings because I was like ashamed of who I was, or I was just always scared to talk. You know what I mean? So this guy, he comes around. I was at AA meeting. He comes. I'm not gonna say his name, but I love him to death. He's short. He shakes me, and he's like, "You're not special." I know what you mean. I'm not special. I thought I was special. You know what I'm saying? He's like, "You got a disease that's trying to kill the both of us, and we're here trying to get the solution of getting one day sober. One day." I'm like, "What?" And I really like opened my brain to receive a message of hope, right? It's hearing other people's experience or how they got through the situation clean, because it stopped me from like Xing myself out the group. Because again, like I'll come into the meeting and think I wasn't like these people. So I ended up going to a rehab. And when I went to this rehab, right, I suffer. See, I don't just suffer from using drugs. I suffer from a disease of addiction, right? So I was addicted to money. I was so free of what I'm gonna do when I get out. So my boy came up with this bright idea. We're gonna sell some box inside the rehab. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah. And so they ended up catching me, and I ended up getting kicked out on Christmas Eve, man. I remember that Christmas Eve. I ended up getting kicked out, and as I'm going back home, I didn't really want to go home, and because I didn't want to use. So I ended up trying to find a meeting. I went to this AA meeting, and I was the only black dude. I came in there, and it was crazy. I had all my bags. I sat down, and they shared, and as I was leaving, they said, "Come sit down." So when I sat down, I shared my story, and they said, "Thank you." I'm like, "What? Thank you?" I thought they was like crazy. I thought they were gonna kill me or something, man. You know, what I'm saying? I was the only black dude. Like, "Thank you, man. Thanks for helping keep us clean." And as I tried to walk back out, these like five guys, they came up to me. They was like, "Man, you want to stay? Where you going?" I'm like, "I'm going back home." They was like, "You want to stay down here?" And I'm like, "Here?" And I was so like in shock that these guys would stay down here on Christmas Eve so I can stay get 1 day clean. And I ended up staying with them guys for like 5, 6 months, man. But it was real hard for me because, like, again, I was the only black dude up in there, and I was like, really, my friends were dying, and I felt like a part of me, what I'm saying, was abandoning my friends. And my sponsor didn't want me going back in the street. He was real, like real structured sponsor. You know what I'm saying? And I remember this guy comes up to me. He says, "You need to stop comparing how different you are. Could you compare yourself right out these rooms?" Because I was comparing how different I was. I was trying to find the wrong in the right situation, but I ended up leaving anyway. And as I left, 2 weeks later, I was getting high. You know what I'm saying? Like I always went and got high. Like I always said, that I never relapsed because I never had a program. You know what I'm saying? I'm an addict. What I do, I went and use. So I ended up getting my own apartment. So when I had my own apartment, right? I used to like only like 2, 3 weeks. I never stayed out long. I ended up getting a phone call. Um, and it was about my stepdad. He had died from the disease of addiction. He drank alcohol, and this is why I knew that alcohol was a problem. Like it took him out in 2 weeks, man. Like I remember when I went and see him, um, I said stop drinking. Like what I'm saying, he couldn't stop drinking. Like that's how I knew alcohol was powerful, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad was dying and he couldn't stop drinking alcohol. And that day I told myself like I'm never gonna die from disease of addiction, man. And I really, it took me a while to really forgive myself because I told myself I was gonna go say goodbye, but I was so caught up in my addiction that I missed it. All my brothers was there, my whole family was there, but me, you know. Now and that was real painful. But some people in the program, they hold on to me, man. They kept me clean long enough to bury my stepdad clean. But since I didn't really have no program, I wasn't used. Dealing with the pain, because at the very end, I understood like what he suffered from. Like growing up, I really didn't see eye to eye with my stepdad. You know what I mean? But as the end, he became my best friend. You know, and it was hard, man. Watching somebody you love die from disease of addiction, man. So I told myself I ain't gonna go out like that. And this time I came to the program, and I came back into the program and I stayed longer. I went to a long term, and I was supposed to go to his Oxford house when I got out in Lockport, New York. But I'm an addict. I'm always trying to find an easy way out. And I went to instead of going to Oxford house, I went to my own apartment. And the problem was with this when I was in my own apartment, I wasn't happy with myself. You know what I'm saying? So I was stuck in this apartment, brand new apartment, just me by myself. So what I went to go do? I went and use. See, I wasn't comfortable with self. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to rush the process of recovery, man. Like I want to do that, then I'll do that. I'm all in with that. And I knew I wanted to stay clean, but I didn't want to recover from the pain. So I went and used in my apartment. I was only in my apartment for like 3 weeks and it went downhill. So I ended up leaving and going to another rehab out in Rochester somewhere. And I remember sitting in the aisle and I was angry. I was full of pain, full of rage. And I remember this guy coming up to me. It was a spiritual rehab. Salvation Army. I don't know if you ever know about a spiritual rehab. And I went there. I'm sitting in the aisle, and he said, "Let go." I said, "I don't know how to let go of the pain." And he's like, "What are you mad?" He said, "What you got so much pain about?" And I had pain about my mother. And he's like, "Well, maybe your mom wasn't loved properly, so she couldn't love you properly." And right then and there, like I forgave my mom. I forgave my mom, not for her, for me. The worst thing is loving someone and being in pain. Then he says, you gotta forgive yourself that you wasn't loved properly because I was so much mad at myself for the things I did in the past that I didn't know how to accept love. I didn't know how to accept nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? So I forgave myself, and that was the first step I ever felt some type of freedom. But I was, empty again. I so from addiction to women, all there was a whole bunch of women in there. So instead of me going diving in the program, diving in with God, I straight dived in with another woman inside the program. And I didn't get kicked out. You know what I'm saying? I always get kicked out of rehab. As I'm getting kicked out, I'm going. I said, yeah, I'm gonna do this time. I'm going back to Buffalo. I'm going to Oxford House. I ended up meeting a girl. I'm, man, I ended up meeting a girl. She was getting high. I told myself, like, listen, yeah, I'm gonna get her clean, and we can, yeah, right. I was getting high in 2 weeks, man, and she ended up leaving. You know what I'm saying? Leaving me. People always leave me at the very end, man. And this was it for me, man. I woke up, right? You know, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I couldn't recognize myself. I'm talking about, man, listen, I was 120, broken teeth. I mean, I barely ate. You know what I'm saying? Like I say this all the time, like I was part of the Walking Dead, like a vampire life. You know what I'm saying? I always talk about I was spiritually bankrupt, spiritually broke. Man, I was in tune with my spirit, man. The capacity to feel human was literally talking about loss. I'm talking about, man, I wasn't connected with my spirit, man. Listen, I didn't know if I could live or die. I didn't know if I could live the next day or next hour, man. But I remember I got this hope, right? And it was my mama. She was an angel, man. She came knocking on the door, man. And this time I couldn't dodge my mama. Like, no matter where I went, she was there. Like, I go down the street, she there. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, over my door, she there. Like, I was scared to come to my house because of my mama, man. Like, she wouldn't give up this time, right? And I remember she knocked on the door. She wanted to come to my house, and I didn't want to let her in my house because, I was living like an animal. I literally talks about like, living skills reduced to an animal state level. Like I'm talking about a disease of addiction that took me that I couldn't let my own mama inside my house because I was living like an animal. So I'm talking to her. I was talking to her in the hallway, and she goes, "Aren't you tired?" And she was crying. And right then and there, I seen my mom. Right then and there, I believed in my higher power of God. I said, "You can give back my mama, and you can do that for me." You know what I'm saying? So I went back in my apartment, you know, and I said, "I'm all in. This is what I told God. I'm all in." You know what I'm saying? But part of me had to die, like the old way of thinking, like this bad boy image, this gangster image, it had to go, right? So I could find a new way to live. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to give up the old Pierre. And I gave up that instantly when I came into this program this time, right? When I came in this program, no longer did I say Pierre try to figure out the way, man. I got out of Pierre's way. Stop trying to figure out the way. I got out of Pierre's way. I sat in my seat, man. I was open minded to whatever they had to say, man. I was willing to do whatever it took, man, because I didn't want to die. And I was honest. People that know me in Falls of Buffalo, I was honest because I wanted the war to stop inside my head. You know what I'm saying? Because I came here because I wanted peace with myself, man. I was tired of tossing and turning, man. I was tired of killing myself, man. So I had to share about that. You know what I'm saying? Plus, they say honest sharing is the antidote to disease thinking. So I shared my ass off, man. People that know me, man, I shared, man. And I chill with these older predecessors, man. And I really didn't talk with them because they had so much recovery. And that's when I learned to listen, listen to learn, but also learn to apply it to my life. You know what I'm saying? It's good to listen to everybody else, but if you ain't applying it to your life when you're unmanageable, it has no purpose. You know what I'm saying? And I end up picking my sponsor, right? And I love my sponsor, man. His name's Eric, man. But I ain't gonna say it's for I love him because he had time, right? And I said, man, I seen it everywhere. I'm like, man, I gotta get him because he gonna keep me lit about this program of recovery. Cause I think he had like 6, 7 years, and he was about everywhere. He was so much involved that I need someone to keep me lit for this program, man. Cause that's my problem. I'll come in the program now, I'll just go off. I'll wander off. I never stayed long enough to let the process of recovery work in my life. It's like I never stayed long enough to let my higher power work in my life. Like I'll pray, and if blessings didn't come fast enough, I say, oh, God doesn't exist. So I see a sponsor, and I end up going to a rehab, right? And it was no special rehab, man. Listen, man, when I came into this rehab, I went to this rehab, and it was crazy because the rehabs, right? The women are like hyenas, man. I'm telling you, they're like hyenas, man. And I had a problem, right, messing with females and going youth, so I couldn't mess with no females. So I ended up calling my mom, right? And my mom said it's time for you to heal. I remember it was very painful for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom's like, man, you always pick women. You always complain about these women, but you only pick women just like you. So I didn't mess with none of the women in there. Cause I'm not signing up for no pain and scars. You can't give me something you do not have. If you ain't loving yourself, there's no way you can love me, man. So I wasn't doing it. My boys that know me, man, I was so serious when I was so serious when I was in the program, man. Listen, in rehab, I didn't start recovering when I got out the rehab. They told me whatever you do in the rehab is what you're gonna do when you get out. So I got busy inside the rehab, man. I remember I went into my room and they said, "Real man, don't cry like a baby, man." Listen, I cried like a baby, man. Cause I had to heal, man. I had to get it out, man. That's when I really started building a relationship with my higher power, like for real, for real. I started reading literature, because it's the only thing I see myself in. And since I didn't trust in nobody, talk to nobody, I had to breathe. But I did build some relationship with four people, man. These four guys, I love them to death, man. They kept me strong, man. They kept me strong, man. Because again, man, I was real weak going that, and then women was like crazy, man. And I remember they wanted, I deal with depression, bipolar, or they wanted to put me on mad medications, and I said, I can't, you can't put me on nothing. Like, uh, I don't judge if anybody's on something, but it's a program of complete abstinence. And plus, the problem is, man, if you put any new drug in me, man, I become out of control. You know what I'm saying? I become credible heart. They should ask me, what's your drug choice? I'd be like, more than anything. You know what I'm saying? To cover up my pain. You know what I'm saying? I substituted one drug to another, and to the very end, man, it got out of control. You know what I'm saying? I've been out of control. I'm just in the last end of the road. I mean, it was just bad, man. So I remember everybody's going to like, the home, Oxford House. I said, yo, send me to another intense rehab, right? And I remember calling my daughters, and my daughters wanted me to come home. And I remember telling them that Daddy ain't coming home. That I'm gonna do whatever it takes to stop breaking promises. Cause I remember what I did in active addiction, man. They say if you're doomed to forget your last use, you're doomed to repeat it, man. I remember being caught up, man. That I lying to my daughter saying I'm gonna make it, but I was caught up in the street, man. I remember what I did in active addiction, man. Like it's yesterday, man. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go do the work so I no longer continue to lie and hurt my children and hurt myself. So I went to the long term, and listen, this long term was serious. It was intense, man. I'm talking about from 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We went to meetings every hour of the hour. Yeah, with 50 guys. I'm talking about emotions going crazy. I'm talking about, man, listen, man. So, man, I wanted, man, listen. I don't know how I made it through that, man. But I had to do the work, man. They said, what you put in this program is what you're going to get out. So I had to get mine. You know what I'm saying? I had to put in the work. Just like I put in the drug, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to chase my recovery. From the gate, I've been chasing my recovery. People that know me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted the freedom they talk about, the peace they have, the peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? I should see guys that, go homeless, lose a wife, you know what I'm saying, lose a child, and stay clean. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of a storm, you know what I'm saying? A tragedy. I wanted that peace. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had to do some work, man. So I'm staying there and I ended up, meeting my ex-wife, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up moving out and moving into Niagara Falls. And the problem was that they told me that don't get in a relationship, within a year. So could you get to know yourself within a year? But I didn't listen. It's the only part I didn't listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking I can just do it my way. You know what I'm saying? Like I was ready for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But I still was broken. So I really wasn't ready for a relationship. That's why I know my disease is in my thinking. It makes me believe my own lie. It makes me believe like, okay, Peter, you're ready to go in a relationship after 3 months clean and be a family man. So I jumped right into being in a relationship, right, with her. And she had 3 kids. I had my 3 daughters, and my PJ was on the way. You know what I'm saying? PJ was on the way because I had got a girl pregnant before I met my wife. And so I moved to Niagara Falls. And the problem was that we had no money. You know what I'm saying? We were struggling. We had borrowed blow up mattresses that had holes in them. We barely had any food. You know what I'm saying? She was barely working. So I remember going to apply for jobs, and hustling wasn't in the option, man. This just wasn't, man. Because it didn't feel right in my spirit to help kill the people that I helped save my life. So I couldn't hustle, man. My sponsor always told me like, man, whatever problem you're going through, we can do it together. You're never alone. And hey, you know what I'm saying? So that was real hard, man. You know what I'm saying? So I got through that, man. And I remember going to meetings, sharing about it, and they just say more to be revealed. I said, hate that. What's more to be revealed? I'm struggling, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ended up getting a good job. You know, ended up getting a great job, man. But the thing about the job is I was working like 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts. The money was good. I was making $1,300 a week. But I was in a relationship. I had like we had 6 kids at the time. It's hard for me to balance all this stuff, man. So my recovery was falling off. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I work 7 to 7, sometimes 7 to 8, 7 to 9, and it was crazy. By the time I get off work, I'm not trying to go to no meeting. You know what I'm saying? But it felt like I couldn't breathe, man. So I ended up calling my sponsor, and my sponsor goes, I think you should put your recovery first. I'm like, put my recovery first. So I'm like, yeah, right. So I hung up the phone on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, put my recovery first. I mean, I got a girl, I got kids, I gotta make sure I get this money. But the problem was when I was working, I backed myself a corner against the wall that I had to choose. Like I didn't come in recovery. Listen, I didn't. I didn't come in here to get the wife. I didn't come in here to like all money and all this stuff. I came here because I wanted freedom from active addiction. I came here because I wanted peace. So one had to go, and that was the money. I quit my job. It wasn't trying to reason with me. So I was like, forget it. I quit my job. So now my disease is working on me. It's telling me I'm less than a father. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a breadwinner, so now we losing everything. Rent a center knocking on our door. I don't know if maybe to do a rent a center, but sure, man, I was doing rent a center. They was trying to come get our stuff. It was just so hectic, man. And I wanted to give up. I'm gonna tell you right now, I wanted to give up. And then my ex-wife hit me with something. She hit me with my own stuff, man. It's different when somebody hits you with your own stuff, right? She goes, we hold on, we don't go back, we push forward no matter what. So I hold on, man. And I end up meeting my boy Tim, and we end up on our own landscaping company. I'm talking about, man. Listen, man, just staying clean put me in position of having my own landscaping company. I'm talking about putting my recovery first, man. When it's tragedy, man. But I had to quit my job because if I didn't, man, I was going to use everything I ever had. My girl I had, my kids, they all would have been gone. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up getting my own landscape company, man. And and that was a blessing, man. We don't promise anything in recovery. The only thing we promise you free from active addiction. But along this way, I have got some lessons, man. I remember having my son, and I didn't know how it feels to have a kid, right? Clean, right? Because during my active addiction, I was never there for my kids. So I remember calling my sponsor, and I'm just like my sponsor. I'm like, yo, I don't know how to act, man. So my sponsor came up there with me. My sponsor brothers came up, they prayed over me, and I got to see my first biological son born clean. I'm talking about, man, listen, man, that was one of the best gifts I ever got in recovery is to see my child come in clean. And I was there for him, man. Showing up to recovery taught me how to show up for my kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, I didn't have to move, right? I didn't want to move from Niagara Falls because I was so structured in Niagara Falls. I had my sponsor boys, I had everything going on good for me, man. And I remember I didn't want to move because of that. So I remember calling my sponsor, and my sponsor told me, like, listen, man, recovery's inside you. Wherever you go, you bring recovery with you. So when I moved to Lockport, I got busy. I joined the H&I, man. Listen, man, I started sharing, I started chasing my recovery. I started going back to the basics. But it's always a problem. There's always a problem. You know what I'm saying? As I'm, chasing my recovery, you know, my ex-wife, she was started losing herself because this is our hometown. So all I knew, I wasn't the problem. So we started beefing all of a sudden, and so I had to separate myself from her. And I didn't want to tell my sponsor, so I ended up moving back to Niagara Falls. I was thinking I was in Lockport for like 3 months. I ended up moving back to Niagara Falls, and I didn't call my sponsor. I didn't want my sponsor to know about what's going on. Cause I didn't want to know what I felt in my marriage. You know what I'm saying? So my higher power, he does stuff for me that I can't do for myself. I ended up seeing my sponsor, and I telling my sponsor what's going on. And I said, yeah, man, I'm separated, and he goes, okay, you gotta do some more work. I said, do some more work? She losing her rabbit mind. Why I gotta do some work? He says, because our primary purpose is be there for the still sick and suffering addict, and the still suffering addict is your wife right now. I'm like, oh, really? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going home. I got my son. And I'm praying to God, like, how can I get through this? And he says, take the expectations off your life so you can love her unconditionally. And that was my first time actually loving somebody unconditionally because I always got expectations of how I love someone. If you don't meet my expectations, then I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up doing that. I ended up getting back with my ex-wife, and we didn't stay and it got better for a little bit, man. There's always a problem again. It's always a problem. Like, life on life term shows up when you just because you clean on me, life ain't gonna show up, man. And I remember I didn't see my son for a couple of weeks, and I was stressed out about that, you know. And I remember I got a call from CPS, and they told me, "Could you come take your son?" What? So I went and got my son, and I remember going to court, you know, and they told me, "We're gonna give you full custody of your son." And all I had to do was stay clean. Like I didn't have to get no fancy lawyer. I didn't do nothing but stay clean, man. And my son's been with me ever since, man. He's 17 months, man. And so I remember I couldn't see my daughters, right? Because I have three daughters too. I remember I couldn't see my two daughters, because my baby moms, man, they always trying to, I don't know what it is, man. I got clean, man. They don't want to be in my kids' life, man. But I wasn't going for that. So I remember I'm seeing my kids, and I'm going to court, but court during this coronavirus thing, it had shut down everything. But I ended up seeing them, just before coronavirus. I ended up seeing them for Christmas, and this when she took them away from me. I ended up seeing them for Christmas. And I went to go see my kids, and I remember dropping the gifts off to him. I'm like, Daddy loves you, right? He said, yeah, we know, Daddy, you love us. I said, how you know I love you? He said, because you don't lie to us no more. Because you show up to our birthdays. What? And they knew I couldn't be there, but they still knew I loved them, man. I'm talking about, again, showing up to recovery. So y'all teach me how to be honest in the rooms, taught me how to be honest to my kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Now my kids don't question me no more. They don't worry that they ain't gonna be here, man. Just by me showing up to recovery, man, has taught me how to live. It taught me how to deal with society, man. It taught me how to be a good father. That was one of the best things my daughter's ever said to me. It was hard, man, because I hadn't seen him for a couple months, and coronavirus. So after this, the coronavirus hit, and I remember, baby mom, she was fighting me, and the CPS was now they was calling me talking about my baby mom was using, and my kids were my daughter's in a painful situation. I'm talking about, man, going through some feelings, man, going through some pain and not using. I'm talking about your kids being in a painful situation and you can't do nothing. I'm talking about being powerless. I'm talking about the first step, really being powerless and living being powerless, surrendering. You know what I'm saying, to your higher power. Now I went through that for months, man, and I finally got a break. And man, I remember crying about that every night, man, because I wanted to go kick in the hotel room, smash her out, but I couldn't, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, that was tough, man. So I ended up getting a break. I ended up telling my lawyer, we filing for emergency, release because the CPS kept calling about cases, and I ended up getting custody of my daughters. Yeah. But I had to trust the process, man. I had to admit that I was powerless. I had to, really get involved in my program to deal with that, man. And I'm grateful for that, right? And, so I came to a point, right, that I wasn't an addict. I'm gonna tell you about this, man. Because the drug was gone, so I was no longer an addict anymore, right? I've been away from the drug about a year and a half, you know what I'm saying? But it's when I learned I suffer from disease of addiction because I became compulsive, obsessive over gambling. Like I never had this problem clean, man. Never had this problem when I was using. But all of a sudden I had this problem now when I get clean. Like I was obsessive, you know what I'm saying, compulsive over these damn numbers. Like, yeah, and the problem was I was hitting too, but it was taking away my peace. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, man, this is what I learned. So I'm reading the literature, you know what I'm saying? And it's talking about, how you disease resurface in any areas of your life. I'm like, damn, man. Like I suffer from a disease that's uncurable, man. There's always be something else that I'm compulsive, obsessive over. If I don't do the work, man, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I learned that I suffer from disease of addiction right then and there when I became compulsive over numbers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I watch a TV show till like 5 o'clock in the morning. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'll go by, you know what I'm saying, 2 chains. Like I'm always trying to fill the void in. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like, for real, man. So I do the work, you know what I mean? And I'm getting better at that. I don't believe in a perfect addict, man. I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like, I work the best of this program I can just for the day. Cause all we got is just for the day. And so I remember seeing this, I remember I told myself that when I see this guy, this one guy, right, that if I ever see him, it's going down. It's going down. And Guess what? I see him inside of me. Yeah, inside of me, like out of all places, he comes inside of me. Now I'm in the meeting, I'm unmanageable. I'm like, man, I don't want, you know what I'm saying? And I told myself, listen, it's going down after you get out the meeting. And when he came in the meeting, after the meeting was over, he came up to me and so, right, I see myself like, you know what I'm saying? And he says, Pierre, I didn't do it, man. And right there, I had to choose, right? I had to choose the old way of thinking or the new way of thinking and surrender and give this man some hope and some purpose that any addict can put down the drug, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. I had to be a part of, man. That's what I became a part of, man. That I can get that our purpose is be there for the still seeking suffer addict, man. Anybody that comes in the rooms of recovery, then man, I can be for them. I can put myself aside and be there for the purpose, right? Because I promised my higher power. They told me, listen, man, I relate with my higher power. That listen, man, if it wasn't for my relation with my higher power, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be like trying to help on the next addict, man. Because again, I self-centeredness, man. I'll be like, man, forget everybody else. You know, because a lot of people in this coronavirus have used. A lot of people are struggling. And during this whole coronavirus, I have not struggled not one time financially. I haven't struggled not one time about thinking about using. You know, but my self-centeredness would be like, man, I ain't gonna help nobody out. You know what I'm saying? Still to this day, man. But my relationship with my higher power keeps me vigilant, humble to where if anybody ever needs my help, I can do it. Because they say I ask, what is my purpose, right? So your purpose is to stay clean to help the other addict that's like you, or alcoholic, vice versa, whatever program you in. And that was my purpose. I stopped looking for everywhere else, man. And that's when I learned my purpose, man. So that's why I'm so vigilant. That's why, I got a YouTube channel. That's why I got this. That's why I got that. Cause I'm constantly trying to give out freedom, man. Because a lot of us are still dying from disease of addiction. A lot of us are still not self-aware of our problem, man. You know, uh, this is over 2 years clean, man. I'm still hungry, like I just came in, man. So I still remember me being 120 broken teeth, man. I still remember like it's yesterday. I still remember that. So I'm like, listen, man. If I don't keep pushing forward, man, I can easily go back to being that guy, man. Easily, man. So I'm currently talking what I'm going through, right? So my ex-wife, she had 18 months at the time, and we had gotten an argument, whatever, you know, and we split up again. And she went and used. And this time, it was so hard for me, right, Mr. Recovery, man, you know what I'm saying, to forgive her. I'm talking about, man, listen, man. Even though I celebrated the first time, this second time was hard because I was personalizing it. I'm like, yo, she did this to me. She did this. And I was trying to personalize with the disease. You can't personalize with the disease. When a person goes off, man, they're no longer themselves. I was trying to hold her accountable for stuff like she was gone. And my self-centeredness, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't forgive her. I'm talking about, man, listen, I was angry, man. And guess who popped up? My sponsor. I'm like, oh my gosh, he always pops up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He popped up and he said, gotta do some work. I mean, it's when the problem comes, it's always somebody you gotta do some work. My sponsor's talking about, man, listen, what can you do? What can you do to do the situation better? What was your part to play in the situation? See, recovery teaches you how to get better with self in every situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to work on my anger when I came in this process, man. Cause I had an anger freaking problem, man. And I'll go 0 to 100. I'll go 0 to 1,000 real quick, man. And I should tell myself I don't got a rage problem until I find myself in front of Walmart trying to find another recovering addict. It's crazy. We was in Walmart in front of the kids' aisles trying to rumble. I'm talking about, listen, man, because so I had to do some more work. So I did my work on myself. So I got back with her and I'm doing the work on myself and doing, everything I possibly could do. But as I was working and doing the work on myself, we became distant. And because I picked her at a broken spot. And I realized, as I do, that's what they told you, like in a year, do not get a relationship within a year because you find yourself. So as of this year, and I was doing the work on myself, we became so distant because I was so structured in what I want to do in my life, and she was so undecided. And then we was married, and I thought being married, I thought getting a job, I thought getting all this stuff, it was the right thing for me. But doing the right thing for me, I learned is that it takes time to understand what's the right thing for me. I was following everybody else. I seen everyone get married, had kids, job, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? That was right for them. It wasn't me. It was right for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's right for me today? is getting to know Pierre. So I ended up leaving her, you know. And so yeah, you had the unconditional love for her, but it came to a point where when I'm gonna have unconditional love for myself, like I didn't get clean to be unhappy with self. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and so it was real painful, right? Because I'm going through this right now. I'm going through this right now because now I got to live the program, right? Yeah, it's good if you talk all that good stuff all you want to, you know what I'm saying? But when you out here still selling drugs, you out here still messing with mad different women, see, that's talking cheap to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that stuff. That's why I really don't really pay attention to the messenger. I pay attention to the message. Because if I try to pay attention to the messenger, I'll get all messed up. And I had problems with people that came in here because they would share good messages and they be selling drugs. But this time I had to live, live the program. So now I got my son, I got full custody of my son, you know, I couldn't go date mad different women. I had to really fill that empty void because I'm vulnerable with my higher power. I had to get busy. I had to really live the program of recovery that we don't use no matter what the situation is. I don't use no matter what the situation. I haven't done nothing unspiritual. That's the hit, man. That's why I'm saying this program changes you, man. Because if you told me 2 years ago that I would accept getting divorced and I'll be taking care of my son and doing it the right way, I would say, yeah, right. Yeah, right. There's no way. Not Pierre. You know what I'm saying? You know? And so today I'm okay with being with self. I'm okay with laying there. I don't need a whole bunch of females holding me, hugging me. I don't need the attention from that, man. As long as I got the attention from God, my higher power, and I'm okay with self, and my son, he's been restoring me. He's like my second step, man. He's been really restoring me. But I've been getting busy, man. They said, get busy, man, because my sponsor always told me, like, man, do the work so you be prepared for the unexpected. The unexpected. Things happen unexpected. Like, this divorce is unexpected, man. And since I'm glad I had enough recovery in me to get busy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm getting busy more because you never know what's going to happen, man. You never know, man. But for the person that's trying to get clean, man, you can do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, I was a can't get right, man. I never seen hope. I never seen freedom, man. You can do it, man. I used to say the pain brought me here. No, my higher power mandated me here because I played Russian roulette with pain. I was addicted to pain. That's why I never let the program recovery work for me. I was scared of love and success. It was uncomfortable for me for a person to really love me. My sponsor had to tell me like all the time, Pierre, I'm not here to hurt you. I was so damaged when I came in here. I didn't know how it feels to be loved. I was so paranoid that everybody was out to get me. You know what I'm saying to you? So my sponsor said, let us love you until you can love yourself. So I hold on to one person. That was my sponsor. You know what I'm saying? And my sponsor brothers. You know what I mean? And I talked to them about it. And I got busy, man. I joined the home group. You know what I'm saying? Got involved. And I'm still like that. Over 2 years clean. Still like that. That's what keeps me clean, man. They said, listen, man, the steps is already paved the way. Just get out your way and follow our way. Because me following my way gets me killing myself. I'm not fooled today. Like, I don't believe in my crazy thoughts no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, this program, listen, I still think about, don't get me wrong, I still think about using, right? I just don't respond to that no more. Or when a using thought comes to me, I go, okay, are you willing to pay the price? I'm not willing to pay the price, and the price is my life. Because I might die if I use again. No matter of fact, I know I'm gonna die if I use again. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take this program for granted, man. It's a privilege to be in recovery, man. It's a privilege to have a second chance at life. Every day I wake up, people that know me on my Facebook, they go, Pierre's always so joyful when they get up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not waking up addicted to drugs right today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, chasing and racing for some drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like I can look at myself today in the mirror. I can see myself again. You remember it's like when you couldn't see yourself? You couldn't recognize yourself? I remember what it was like, man. I'm grateful just for that, man. Nothing else. So and so you can do it, man. But you gotta put in the work, man. You gotta let someone love you, man. So you can love yourself, man. And so yeah, man. Get a sponsor, join a home group, get busy. And then listen, man, there's Zoom meetings, there's all so much stuff that for addicts to get clean nowadays. And I know it's hard, man. You got all this stuff. Like I was telling my boy, like, man, it's gotta be harder for the addict trying to get clean nowadays because of so much going on, man. And they told me to find my own niche. See, I do my things my way. I don't listen. I don't care what nobody says. But, you know what I'm saying? They told me find your own niche, find your own stuff to keep yourself clean. Cause listen, during this COVID-19, I wasn't going to meetings. It was my relationship with my higher power and my relationship with myself, my relationship with God. So I don't know what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? But I believe in God. And I believe the relationship I have with Him has kept me peaceful. It kept me pushing forward. Cause I remember the foxhole prayer that we had together. I remember that, man. And I stay still, man, because anything that comes from him is guaranteed, man. Anything I try to go get, it's always messed up. That's why I don't try. That's why I ain't doing nothing. I ain't trying to listen, man. I ain't trying to go for a girl. I ain't trying to do none of that, man. Because I can't make good decisions, man. Again, my best thought has got me using drugs. It's got me 120 broken teeth. I don't listen to Pierre in here no more. I don't. I go over a couple people, man. But listen, man, so much better on the side, man. So if you struggling to stay clean, man, today can be the day that you give up and go get help, man. Whatever you struggling with, man. Listen, I know people that are struggling with putting down Pepsi, putting down weed, putting down gambling. Listen, this is a recovery, man. We all suffer from some type of addiction, man. Drugs just makes us aware of the problem, man. This makes you aware of the problem. But I'm happy that I'm listening. I'm happy, right, that I got on drugs because now I have a second chance to live a different life, man. It made me self-aware of one of my problems. Because my whole growing up, I didn't really know what my problem was because I was unmanageable way before the drug. Way before you put the drug inside me, I was unmanageable. You know what I'm saying? Because when pain hit me when I was like 9, my dad went to prison, my grandpa, he died, and my mom got hooked on drugs. I became unmanageable. I became lost, a scared kid. I didn't know what to do in the streets of California. So that's when I became unmanageable. I ain't put no drug in my system until I was like 18, 19. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know how to process myself, my feelings. That's why I use if I didn't use a drug, I use a person or the thing. I'm not confused with that. But today I don't gotta use a person, place, or thing, man. I go to my higher power, man. And I use this is what I do though. I use the fellowship of recovery, something positive to help me with me, man. Free yourself, man. It's always something here. Free yourself, man. That's why I talk. It's free yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you got some strength from this. I hope you got some courage from this, man. That of a person like me, man, right? Listen, man, a no good drug dealer dad, you know, didn't honor women, didn't honor myself, didn't care about another life, man, can change his life, man. Now doing recovery, man, you can do it, man. All odds against, yeah, you can talk about, yeah, I don't got no dad or mom, man. I've been through that. You can talk about it. I was poor. We can go into the painful situation, man. We don't blame our our recovery on our past. I'm gonna tell you about your past, right? I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna end this, right? They say, I used to worry about my past and my future until my mom's boyfriend came up to me, right? He says, can you get back your past? I'm like, no. He says, can you determine your future? I'm like, no. He said, worrying about your past and worrying about your future will take away your peace for today. So all I got is today. I can't get back my past. It's over with. I can't determine my future. I'm not God. All I got is today. So all you got is today. Do the best you can do for today and keep it moving. That's all I do. I do the best I can do for the day. I don't care what other people think. As long as I'm happy with what? With self. That's what matters because I killed myself. So I need to be happy with myself. You understand me? In this program, being recovery has gave me back Pierre. Has gave me back the lost friend, man. But I had to put in the work. It didn't come overnight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about you. Some people say, oh, y'all was happy and free after 6 months, 8 months. Nah, me, I was still detoxing after 6 or 8 months. Straight like that. I was still mad at the world when I had a year. I'm just now coming into being peace and serene with myself, man. Just now, man. Just now. After 2 years clean, just now, man. I hope it don't take that long for you. But again, like I said, I had all these depressions, all this stuff, and I took nothing. I took no medication, no nothing, man. Like I said, I'm gonna learn how to, battle against my thought process. Because the problem wasn't my drug use, the problem was my thinking. It was telling me it's okay to go use a drug from the get go. I tap into my thinking, man. I need to change the way I think. So I was change the way I live, and it was change the way I feel. It's think with a thought. If somebody start with a feeling, no, think with a thought. Like you were saying, somebody, whatever happens in your life, you think about it, and you feel about it, then you do about it. So I change the way I think, I'll change the way I feel, and I'll change the way I move. You know what I'm talking about? So y'all stay positive. Y'all stay down with recovery, man. If anybody can tell you they love you, I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're clean, you think about using, don't do it. Think about what using took you. You know what I'm saying? And even that, if you think about going back to a painful situation, no more pain and scars. Recovery is about freedom and peace and love. And listen, not only like recovery teaches you how to deal with life, man, without going to kill yourself. To accept life on life terms, man. I'm going through a divorce, starting over with my son, and I am grateful, and I am not worried about anything because I made it through an active addiction, man. All I ever wanted to be happy with myself, man. So that's why I came to recovery, and I got that today, man. So you get some gifts, man. Well, I won't promise you gifts, but you get the number one gift: freedom from active addiction. So you stay to trust the process no matter what the situation is. We do recover. All right, y'all. I stay positive. Talk to you later.